Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. I am coming in here live, kind of getting on my soapbox a little bit, but honestly, I'd really love to have a proper conversation, I guess, about this because, you know, this leadership development industry is, nearing $370 billion. Those are American stats. And I just find that we still have so many problems in the workplace. Yes, we have made some inroads, but ultimately we are still seeing, we're still seeing so much stuff going wrong. And I still have people, that message me, that reach out to me, that tell me about their horror stories in their workplaces. And so I wanted to kind of come on because I think I have I think I know what's actually happening here. And, hello, everybody. Just needed to close that one down. And so I wanted to come on and share my thoughts and see if it resonates. Am I just completely, delusional, or what everybody else is thinking? So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Emma Rhodes, and I started up Her Leadership Journey. And the idea is to provide a community of women who are in management, leadership roles, business owners in corporate, a safe place to come together, to talk, to share their journey, to really unite and really just support one another. So every month I bring in an expert inside our membership. They deliver some actual leadership training. So we're doing it in micro learning. I do have a diploma of organizational coaching, so I'm backing that up with, we pull apart that learning and go, all right, what is it that's relating to you in your environment, in your workplace, in your particular context? How are we going to pull it apart to find the bits that matter to you the most? And from there, how we're actually going to put stuff into place. So that's who I am, and that's what I've been doing. And I've actually been doing leadership and management for a few years now. I've got a different brand as well, consulting, that was pre-COVID. So these opinions, I suppose, my perspective has been formed from these experiences. So not only my own experiences in corporate management roles, from my studies as well in leadership and management, and also from the last few years from me working and talking with other people who are having huge issues in the workplace. And I think I really worked out why and how our leadership development programs are really not working. We're still seeing so many issues. You just look at our own government, right? We've been at this leadership development gig for, I don't know, as long as I can remember, right? Yet we haven't seen anywhere near the impact that this amount of spend should actually be having inside our workplaces and then rippling out through our society. We spend the majority of our days in our workplaces, and when we are feeling unappreciated, undervalued, we are all of everything of the above, we take it home with us. And unfortunately, then it can ripple out through society as well. Our kids grow up watching us hating work and hating our manager. And of course, they take these beliefs into the workplace as well. And I really think the issue comes down to the fact that we have absolutely missed the definition of leadership versus management. And I really wanted to check. So those of you who are watching this, whether it's live or through the replay, please let me know your thoughts on the differences between leadership and management, because what I'm seeing is people and workplaces sending managers off to leadership development programs. Now, leadership skill sets and management skill sets are very different. They are absolutely very different. And we need to ensure that the people that we're sending to leadership development programs actually want to step into the role of leader. Just because they're a manager does not mean they're a leader. And so I wanted to elaborate a little bit on that because it's quite a sticking point for me, and I get quite riled up, and I wanted to see your thoughts on this one. So let's just start with the differences with managers and leaders. So manager, in my opinion, there's someone who's basically responsible for the operations of the business, right? It's their job to get the doors open, to get the customers served, to get the money coming in and out of the business. There are many different managers in an organization. Many looking after just one particular part of operations, who then report to someone else, looking after a bigger area, and goes to the CEO and who goes to the board and so on. Now, the manager is responsible for ensuring the processes get followed. People turn up, they're doing their jobs, and ultimately the business continues on the path that's been set for it. These are the people who are motivating their team, they're keeping them accountable, and they're the ones that have the most impact on our workplaces. Now, we had a leadership expert into our membership recently, Louise, and she shared these stats with us that basically say our frontline managers are responsible for 80% of our employees in any organization. They're the ones with the boots on the ground, right? They have the most impact on our cultures and on our experiences when we're at work. Yet these people are only getting 20 to 30% of management training and leadership development. So if we think about that, they have the most impact, yet they're getting the least support in order to actually help their management skill sets and, if they want to, their leadership development. So if we can see that only the higher leaders in terms of hierarchy are the ones getting this leadership development, we've got issues with it filtering down, definitely. And we've got issues with our spend and where it's actually being spent. Because you'll probably find, I know that in some organisations I've been to, no, you only get that training once you actually step up into that role. And for me, that is completely backwards thinking, because we need that training for them to step up. So when they hit that ground, they can hit it with support, with confidence, with knowing they've got some kind of skill sets under their belt. But what we're finding is that so many managers get promoted to the management role because they're really great at the doing, yet they don't actually get any training on the management skill set that's required to create motivational environments, to hold people accountable, to have the conversations that they need to have to ensure that the business operations keep going. So that's my opinion of a manager and their role inside an organization. A leader, again, in my opinion, is someone who can transform a business with ideas and their desire to innovate and to be better. There's someone who has a vision, who can create it, who can communicate it, and have others be inspired to jump on board with them and go, yeah, let's do that. They're quite often found by saying, let's make this better, easier, more cost effective, whatever it happens to be. A leader is anybody, anyone in your organization. They don't have to have a title, they have an idea. They can see a way to make more impact or do what they do better. You can really identify these ones as the people who are coming up with new ideas. Sometimes they're also the ones that are not normally following processes. And when asked, they say, they're like, well, I don't believe that's actually the best way to go about it or the best way to serve our customers. So they might have already used their initiative to try a different way. Please don't confuse these people with ones who are not performing and not following processes. These leaders are the ones that basically are going, hey, I've got an idea. What do you think about this? Or, hey, can we try this? I've been speaking with so-and-so over in X department, and I think there's a way that we could do this better. These are the ones that you might find always rallying the team together. They're always looking for ways to collaborate. If they have learned how to develop their leadership, then they're also becoming more vocal in communicating and putting their ideas together and building business cases and presenting them. They may already also have a following, have started to create a following within the team, the department, or your organization. And, ultimately, a leader can be anybody in your organization. They don't need a title. And what we actually find is these leaders are generally few and far between. And sometimes I wonder if it's because for so long they have tried to speak up and have just been knocked back down that they stop speaking up. And I think we've got a really big generational gap in our workplaces at the moment where unless we foster this environment of being able to speak up and being able to create safe environments where people can share ideas and use their strengths, I think we're probably going to keep seeing a little bit more of the, putting people back down. That's not your place. That's not your job role. That's a great idea, but go and do your job. And I know that that's happened to me before, and I know it's happened to many others as well. But here's the thing, we need a balance of both leaders and managers. Neither one is better than the other. And if we don't have both of them in a business, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. All right, so a manager is not always a leader. So we can have people who just want to be amazing, effective managers. They want to look after their people. They want to make an impact on them and their lives. They don't want to come up and lead teams of people to make big changes or, to create new products or services or things. They're really happy following whatever the business structure is. They're really happy staying within their patch and going, I'm really amazing at this. This is what I love to do. I love my people. I love doing this. I love hitting these goals. I love ticking off all of our KPIs. And I love empowering other people to step up into their leadership if that's what they want. We need these people. Now, a leader is not always a manager. And this is where we're getting confused time and time again, because we have people with management titles automatically assuming that they're leaders. And they're absolutely not. I know amazing CEOs who very much are leaders. They're making fantastic impact in their communities and organizations, but by their own admission, they're a terrible manager. They hate holding people accountable. They hate having to fuss over all of the details of actual operations, right? They're big picture thinkers who say, yes, I've got this idea. They're able to communicate their vision. They create inspiration. And as a result, people follow them and jump on to help this vision come to life. They're like, yes, I want to be a part of that. And therefore they come on, and everybody brings their own strength. Without these leaders, we wouldn't have continuous improvement. We wouldn't have innovation, and we wouldn't be constantly trying to be better than we were yesterday. But without our managers as well, like I said before, our organizations there would be nobody responsible, for opening the doors. So we actually need to stop developing our leaders and focus on helping our managers to become better managers and to make an impact on the people that they lead and the people that are come to work every day and work with them. So does a leader have to be a manager? And at the end of the day, no. So what you need to do is recognize the strengths in this person and what an asset that you actually have in the business. And you want to foster that ability to put their business cases forward, to give them a go, to nurture this instinct to be better and to drive improvement. If you've got some of those people in there who may not actually want to lead a team, for example, but they have this idea, they want to see something better, then you can have a look at what kind of leadership development programs are going to help them, because they're going to need to be able to communicate this vision. They're going to need to be able to write a business case to put this vision forward. Those are the skills that you need them to have. You need to be able to teach them to understand everybody's motivation, to be able to communicate to all different types of people within an organization, to understand what's important to each particular person and how to spin their, not spin, but I suppose how to speak their vision to life so it hits and resonates with every single person. These are a whole stack of different skill sets to a manager who needs to be able to say to someone, hey, look, we've missed our goals, our KPIs. What's happening? How can we help you improve on that? We need, those are two different skill sets, okay? And if you're sending people off to leadership when they actually need management, you're going to have a problem. Now, if we want someone to be an amazing leader and they want to be a manager as well, then you have to get these management skill sets right first, because we need to build trust. We need to build influence. We need to be able to have what I call street cred, which is really about getting results from where we are, if we actually want to then take that and go further from there. So for those managers who have just stepped into a management role, really focus on your management skills first, getting that right, providing that safe environment for your team around you. Okay, getting results in from your team, being able to create a great culture, a team culture with that, before you want to step up into then going through the leadership skill sets. So this is what I believe to be one of the biggest issues as to why we are spending nearly $370 billion on leadership development programs. And you know, they're popping up everywhere, right? The government's throwing money at it. And I just don't think it's working, because we have this leadership and management, we're putting them together and they're not the same thing. So please, if you are someone who's sending people out onto leadership development programs, before you invest thousands in the next one, please ask yourself what problems you're trying to fix. What are you wanting to create for your organization? And go and talk to the person about whether they actually want to be a leader, or do they just want to be an amazing manager. And I hope that will help you to really identify what you need out of a program, where your organization is going, and how you can get the best return on investment for you. So I'd love to start this conversation. Please let me know your thoughts on this. Whether you believe I'm completely off topic, I love to hear different perspectives. I don't know everything. Like I said, this is my opinion, my perspective based on my own experiences, the experiences that I've had in coaching and consulting over the last few years, and also my leadership and management studies out there. I would love to start this conversation. If this has really resonated and you actually want to have a deeper conversation, I am offering free 30-minute Zoom chats to really get a bit clear. So if you're not too sure, you're looking at spending some money and you're wondering now whether or not it's the right thing, please reach out. I'm always here to help. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for listening to me on my soapbox, and I hope to hear from you soon. See you later.